The new R-rated comedy Strays hits theaters this weekend. Does it deliver, or are you in for a rough time at the movies? I am so sorry. Hello everybody, I'm Dan Murrell, and this is my review of Strays, the new foul-mouthed dog comedy from Universal that you'll start seeing this weekend here in theaters domestically. Strays is from director Josh Greenbaum, whose last film, Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, became an underground comedy hit. It's also from writer Dan Perrault, who co-created the series American Vandal, which I very much enjoy, and who I briefly overlapped with, fun fact, over at Screen Junkies. The producing team for the film also includes Phil Lord and Chris Miller, so you have a lot of prestige names behind the movie. Strays is a live-action film, but it does feature talking dogs using the animated mouth thing, which I have to say the effect is pretty well done in this movie. Will Ferrell voices Reggie, a cute dog in a toxic relationship with his owner Doug, who's played by Will Forte. And surprisingly, this movie actually does a really good job of breaking down what a toxic relationship is and the negative effects of words you hear like isolation and gaslighting. It's crazy that in this era where lots of movies have tackled this sort of thing, that the one featuring the foul-mouthed dogs is one of the best examples of distilling what exactly the harmful effects of a relationship like this really can be. When Reggie's abandoned by Doug in a big city, he meets a stray dog named Bug, played by Jamie Foxx, a small dog with a big personality, and a backstory that approaches Toy Story 2 levels of heartbreaking.
Have you ever humped anything before?
Well, I wouldn't say I've humped, per se, but I do like to dance on Doug's leg.
Dude, that wasn't dancing, baby. You was humping. The devil's dance.
Bug's friends include Maggie, a collie with a great nose, voiced by Isla Fisher, and Hunter, an emotional therapy dog with self-confidence issues, voiced by Randall Park.
Hey, Bubsy, you got any f***ing weekend plans?
What?
You got
that
him.
still sounds friendly.
Yeah, raw dogging your mom.
Well, I'm pretty sure she's dead, but good luck anyway.
Together, they embark on a journey to get Reggie home so that he can exact the only appropriate revenge for years of mistreatment to a dog, biting his owner's penis off. And along the way, they meet a colorful cast of characters, human and animal, toss around enough four-letter words and poop jokes to fill 2 R-rated movies, and have an encounter with magic mushrooms.
You look different.
Really? Oh, you look different too. You're kinda...
Is it my human hands?
I go in a little wary on movies like this because there are so many of them that just stop at whatever the concept is. So Strays could have been a movie that just said, what if dogs can curse? And then the whole movie is just a riff on that. It's a reason why I wasn't a huge fan of the movie Sausage Party, which came out several years ago, because I felt like the movie just stopped at the premise. It was like, what if food talked dirty and did sex things? And then it was just 90 minutes of different jokes based on that one tired idea. There is a healthy or perhaps unhealthy amount of that in Strays. There are a lot of jokes that are predicated on the fact that it's funny to see a dog say the F word, and there are a lot of poop and penis jokes in the movie. Some of it amusing, a lot of it I just kind of rolled my eyes at because, you know, again, it's an easy laugh. But there's more to a lot of the other jokes in this movie, which really shouldn't be a surprise if you've seen American Vandal, which is the series that Dan Perrault co-created, because that was also a show that was sort of based, especially the second season, on this sophomoric level of humor, but underneath that comedy, there was a lot more complicated comedy going on. There are more than a few metaphysical comedic moments and some jokes where you think you've seen the punchline and then the movie delivers the real punchline and then the movie says, well, that's not really the punchline, this is the punchline. And that's the kind of humor that really works on me, where I kind of chuckle because I think I know the joke and then the movie surprises me. It's not that Strays is highbrow or lowbrow. It's both of those things, which means that I think it's going to be funny to a wide array of people, no matter what their comedic tastes are. The movie's also well cast, and I think that Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx work really well together as comedic foils. The character of Reggie is this sort of naive innocent, so it's a bit of a throwback to Will Ferrell's role as Buddy in Elf, although, again, much, much dirtier.
Tell it Gnome you're his daddy.
Hey, Gnome, I'm your father. I didn't know I had a son, and he's a gnome, of all things. Does anyone want to hump my son? He's handsomely dressed in a smart little tunic.
And Bug's hard edge really allows Jamie Foxx to lean into his comedic abilities, which is really where a lot of people first got to know Jamie Foxx.
You see that lamppost over there?
Yeah.
Why don't you go over there and pee on that?
And you're sure this is okay?
Go ahead, ain't nobody giving a f. You're a straight now. That's my point.
Isla Fisher and Randall Park bring a lot of personality to their characters, and the whole enterprise is a reminder of why it's important to cast talented voice actors for these different roles. It's not enough to just cast famous people, especially in a comedy like this. You have to get people who understand how to do comedy, especially in voiceover, and luckily they cast 4 lead actors that are able to do just that.
I'm not jealous or worried or angry or depressed or confused or fuming or unhinged at all. It's given me a chance to do a little self-care. Like, I've been going into the digging. I really like the feeling of the soil under my nails. I'm just like out in the fresh air again. I'm just really connecting to the land. No, I'm learning. I love digging. I love digging. I love it. I love to dig!
The humans naturally take a back seat in the movie called Strays, but there are still moments where they're featured. Will Forte is one of the most unlikable antagonists in a movie in a very long time, and he knows exactly how to play that part. There's also an extended poop sequence involving Brett Gelman that maybe wasn't my favorite in the movie, but he is a very funny actor, and that sequence also had some of the absurdist jokes that I really enjoyed. And one cameo in particular that embodies the kind of humor I was talking about, where you think you know what the joke is, but then you don't really, but then you don't really. It actually had a couple of my favorite jokes in the entire movie in the space of about 30 seconds. R-rated comedies are hit or miss. They can't all be game night, but Strays, I think, hits more than it misses. It is at times what I would consider to be the worst version of itself, the one that's just, you know, puppies swearing and rolling around in poop, stuff like that. But I think that the movie really starts hitting on all cylinders, particularly once you get into the second and third act, when the on the road part of the movie begins. The only people I think this movie will totally turn off are the ones who absolutely cannot abide any kind of excremental humor, because there is a lot of it in the movie, and it is what I think some people might call extreme at times. But other than that, it's got enough jokes to make it worth your time. I laughed quite a bit, and Hollywood certainly can do and has done worse when it comes to late summer comedies. So on my personal scale, I'm going to give Strays a rating of it's good, and it gets my recommendation. I don't think that you lose anything by not seeing it in a theater, except for the experience of watching a comedy with an audience. I personally love to watch comedies with audiences and share that laughter, and I think that that's the optimal experience for viewing a movie like this. However, if you prefer to watch it at home, I don't think you're making a massive mistake. I just think the experience is a little bit better with people. So those are my thoughts on Strays. What do you think? Will you be heading into the theater this weekend to see it? Let me know down in the comments below. I will be back either later tonight or tomorrow morning with my review of Blue Beetle. So stay tuned on the channel for that, as well as more movie news, reviews, box office, and more. Thanks for spending part of your day with me. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Bye.